Hey gang, and welcome back. These videos are brought to you by Card Conduit, the best place to sell your unused collection fast and easily. 401 Games, Canada's top shop for all your hobby and TCG needs. Dragon Shield, the strongest sleeves for your strongest decks. Moxfield, the easiest way to store and share your deck lists. I'm calling this game Bunny Bonanza since there are technically 3 bunny commanders, with Morophon being a changeling and being one, Baylen, and Miss Bumbleflower. Kuzno wins the die roll and starts us off. He draws, playing a Plains and casting Soul Ring. Max's turn has a tapped Glittering Mastiff coming in, and he ships it. Arja draws, plays a Temple of Mystery, scries one, and passes after that. Metch's turn has him playing a Forest, and paying a green to suspend to search for tomorrow. Kuzno's got a Hushwood Verge, and then casts 2 Heir Apparents. He makes a 1/1 White Rabbit token off the second one as it comes in, and then passes after that. Max plays a Mountain, and casts Fire Diamond, passing. Arja's got a Plains, and passes. Metcha plays the World Tree, and passes as well. Kuzno plays a Lush Portico, surveilling 1, and binning Shalai. He then casts another Heir Apparent, making 2 Rabbit tokens this time, and then swings his 2 original Heir Apparents at Arja and Mathieu. They each take the hit for 2, and Kuzno passes. Max has Arbaz Mirror, and then plays an Ancient Den. This is Arbaz pinging the table for 1 each, and Max gaining 1. And Max then casts Ragost, pinging his opponents again, and passes. Arja's got a Forest, and also wants in on these bunny tokens, casting Tempt with Bunnies. It's a no-brainer for Kuzno as he takes the offer, but no one else does, with Kuzno making a token and drawing, and Arja drawing 2 and making 2, and then passing after that. Metch's upkeep has him removing the final counter from Search for Tomorrow and casting it, getting an island and drawing for turn. He then continues to ramp with a Cultivate, and plays a Mountain for turn after he finds it and puts it to hand. Kuzno plays an Oak Hollow Village, and casts yet another Heir Apparent. He makes more bunny tokens, and then activates the Oak Hollow Village to put a +1/+1 counter onto all of his new rabbits. He then sends 3 of the old rabbits at Matt, and 1 at Arja. They both take the hits, and Kuzno passes. Max plays a Great Furnace, and a Boros Signet, pinging his opponents for 2. He then casts Mondrak, pinging his opponents again, and passes. Arja's got Wilson in his main phase, and then plays an Azorius Chancery, bouncing a land back to hand. With nothing else, he passes. Metcha draws and plays a tapped Temple Garden, and then casts a Belby's Portal, naming Elder as it comes in. Kuzno's got a Fabled Passage, cracking it for a Forest. He then plays a Pearl Medallion. Max draws and plays a Mountain, and then casts Oltec Matterweaver. He follows that up with a Generous Plunderer. He gets to make a Gnome token off the Matterweaver, which is doubled thanks to Mondrak, pinging his opponents for 2 and gaining 2, and passes after that. Arja's got a Plains, and just casts Miss Bumbleflower. Metchia's got a Swamp, and casts Simic Signet. Kuzno draws, playing a Warmint Warleader with Offspring paid. He makes a 1/1 copy of it, and then activates the Oak Hollow Village, giving his Warleaders counters, and going to combat. He sends 2 2/2s and 1 1/1 at each player, and the Warleader buffs these to become 4 4s and 3 3s respectively. Metchia responds by activating Belby's Portal, and puts 1-800 Flappin, aka Zatalpa, into play, blocking the 4/4 with it. Arja blocks a 4/4 with Miss Bumbleflower, and Max blocks his 4/4 with Mondrak, and a 3/3 with a Gnome token. Before damage, Max then sacrifices both Gnomes to put an indestructible counter onto Mondrak. Arja and Mathieu then each take 3, and Kuzno passes. Max's upkeep has him giving Mathieu a treasure from the Generous Plunderer, and he himself makes 2, dealing 2 to his opponents, and drawing. He then casts a Mycosynth Wellspring, getting a Plains and dealing 1 more to his opponents thanks to Arbaz Mirror. Moving to combat, he swings the Plunderer at Matt. Matt takes a total of 5 from the trigger plus the combat damage. And Max then sacrifices the Wellspring to Rogast's ability, dealing 3 to each of his opponents, and gets a Plains before passing turn. Arja draws, plays an island, and casts Kutzel. He gives Mathieu a card with the Miss Bumbleflower trigger, and puts a +1/+1 counter onto Wilson. Moving to combat, he sends Wilson at Max. Max takes the 3, and Arja draws a card off Kutzel, and then casts Explorer. This has Mathieu drawing again from Miss Bumbleflower, and Arja puts a counter onto Miss Bumbleflower, and then draws 2. He then plays Yavimaya as his second land for turn. After that, Arja passes, while Mathieu cycles in Indatha Triome to draw. Matt draws and plays an untapped Hollowed Fountain, taking 2. And then casts Nezahal. Going to combat, Mathieu smacks Max with his Talpa for 8, and passes. Before leaving the second main phase though, Max then eats a treasure as a food token, gaining 3 life, and sacrifices his other treasure food token to Ragost, pinging the table for 3. They then move to Mathieu's end step, and Max gets to untap his commander, and we pass to Kuzno. Kuzno draws and starts his turn off right with a Moonshaker Cavalry, pumping his board and giving them flying. He calculates it and sends 2 Heir Apparents and a rabbit at Mathieu, and then 3 rabbits and a War Leader at Max and Arja each. No one declares any blocks since they all have flying, but Arja saves the day with a fog to save the table. After that, Kuzno passes. During the end step, Arja casts Rapid Hybridization, targeting Ragost. Max responds to this by sacrificing his Fire Diamond, which is also a food, to Ragost, and deals 3 to the table. The Rapid Hybridization then resolves, making Max a Lizard token, and we then move to Max's turn. Max gives Kuzno a treasure token, and makes 2 of his own, and draws. He plays a Command Tower, and then recasts Ragost, and follows up with Knuckles. Going to combat, Max then sends the Generous Plunderer at Kuzno, who takes a total of 5. This has Max making a treasure token from Knuckles, and continuing to ping his opponents with Arbaz Mirror, and passes. Arja's got a Mistgate Pathway, paying 1 green for Hardened Scales. Mathieu gets to draw a card from Nezahal, plus Arja gives him another card from Miss Bumbleflower, and puts the counter onto Miss Bumbleflower as well, and then casts Nature's Lore, and puts a counter onto Kutzel, which has Mathieu drawing another card from Nezahal, plus another one from Miss Bumbleflower, and then Arja gets to draw 2 himself. Arja then gets a Forest off the Nature's Lore, and follows up with a Thrumming Bird, putting another counter, but this time onto a Rabbit token. He then follows that up with Triumph of the Hordes, which has Mathieu drawing another card from Nezahal, and grows another Rabbit token, and gives his team +1/+1, Trample, and more importantly, Infect. He sends Miss Bumbleflower and Kutzel at Max, and Wilson and 2 rabbits at Kuzno. Kuzno blocks Wilson and survives, but Max has no flying blockers and gets taken out with Infect. Arja then draws 2 off Kutzel and passes. During the end step, Mathieu activates Belby's portal, putting out the original Nicol Bolas. Mathieu's upkeep has him paying for Nicol Bolas' trigger, and he draws. He then plays a Swamp and casts the Eldest Reborn. And once that's done, casts Delighted Halfling. He passes after that. Kuzno draws, and is finally able to cast Baylen with his treasure. He then casts Raise the Pass to get 3 Heir Apparents back. This in turn gets Kuzno 9 rabbit tokens off of them, and he then taps all the rabbit tokens to draw 3 times with Baylen. Kuzno then plays an Arid Mesa, and goes straight to combat. He sends the Moonshaker Cavalry, a rabbit, and the Warren Leader Offspring at Mathieu, and everything else goes at Arja. With the War Leaders attacking, 2 more rabbits come into play attacking Mathieu. And Arja blocks the 2 biggest creatures. Mathieu can't survive through the damage though, and Arja drops to 3. Realizing he'd miscalculated, Kuzno has no choice but to pass turn. Arja's got a Forest, and casts a Containment Grafter. He puts a +1/+1 counter onto Kutzel, and then casts Spark Double as a copy of the Grafter. This has Arja growing and giving Miss Bumbleflower flying, and he sends both flyers at Kuzno, With no way to stop them, Kuzno gets taken out and Arja wins. Game review time. So there was a shocking lack of interaction in this game, which is surprising considering who was playing it. Typically Max, Arja, and Mathieu have lots of answers. In this one, the only answer that felt really good was probably that sweet fog. It allowed Arja to survive, which in turn allowed him to win. So it's my card of the game. Outside of that, it was really cool to see Ragost starting to get going, which unfortunately meant that his opponent saw it getting going and then had to deal with Max. Baylen in turn actually was missing a red source, which meant that a lot of the cards in Kuz's hands were just dead, and Miss Bumbleflower did exactly what she wants to do, which is pump up a bunch of stuff to become lethal either in the air or with infect. This video wouldn't be possible without the help from my sponsors, but it definitely wouldn't be possible without the help from you, the viewers, and my patrons. So I just want to say thank you for watching, and to remember, friends are just opponents you haven't eliminated yet.